think it's good if you've been in a courtroom, for example, and you've done some litigation, you've done something a bit different before you come into this world, and also just to keep an open mind.
Hello everyone and welcome back to myArbitration. Today we're here on the rooftop of the amazing ICC here in Paris with the Eiffel Tower behind us, and we're about to meet two amazing counsel. This is Friederike Schäfer and Hjordis Hjartardottir. Hi you guys! Hey!
Hi.
Hello, thank you so much for having us. This is so lovely. I work a lot with both of you, and what I really find amazing is all the support and attention that you give to both counsel and arbitrator. Can I ask you, in your experience, how much do new young arbitrators rely on you?
I think they do it quite a bit, but I actually do think we appreciate it when they do. And that's actually one of the reasons that we go to the young people, is because they are very eager to do well, they're very motivated, and so when they're doing their first case, they tend to reach out to us, and we're really happy that they do, yeah.
We also enjoy if we can be of help to them and if we can contribute to the solution, helping to keep the proceedings smooth. And also sometimes in practical questions, just give, just advice in which hotel to stay or how to set up a virtual hearing, where you could find an expert, things like that. And as Hjordis said, we appreciate if arbitrators, young ones, but also elder ones, turn to us and discuss procedural questions with us beforehand, so that we have a chance to give our input and to give also the view of the ICC Secretariat and convey our practices.
Do you see any difference in terms of challenges faced in small cases versus big cases?
Yeah, I think it's interesting because when we're trying to give cases to new people, right, we go for the low value cases. But funnily enough, they often end up being quite complicated because the parties are not experienced in arbitration. They're sometimes not represented by counsel, or if they are, it's quite inexperienced counsel. And then you often have additional complexities like a non-participating party. So we take these cases and we give them to first-timers, and they actually end up being not so easy after all. And that's when the dialogue between us and them is so important.
And what is the kind of advice or support that you give to counsel as opposed to arbitrators?
So counsel often ask us for information about the financial aspect of the case. Yeah. That goes particularly, I think, in cases where a settlement is negotiated. Counsel want to be able to give their client exact information on what costs the client has to expect. Of course, counsel also contact us in difficult multi-party, sometimes multi-contract scenarios, just to clarify how our joinder mechanism works, what are the requirements for consolidation and things like that. And what I also experience is from time to time that counsel call me even when they draft complicated arbitration agreements, for instance for shareholders agreement or articles of association.
I think possibly owed to the name Secretariat. Some people might misunderstand your role as very administrative only, but I think there's actually a lot that you guys do in preparation, especially for the court sessions and for the court votes. Can you explain a little better how you have the Secretariat cooperate with the court and how that dynamic works?
under the ICC rules, as you know, there are certain decisions to be taken by the court, just like an appointment or the fixing of the advance and costs, decision on challenges. And since in the case management teams we know the cases, we prepare memorandums just briefing the court on the case in general and then the specific issue, so that the court members can take an informed decision on these issues without necessarily having to be on the case all the time.
For an example, if someone objects to the confirmation of an arbitrator, we will prepare that memorandum, we will set out the background, what the parties are pleading, we will set out previous precedents where something similar has happened, and sort of help the court in making its decision without having to go through all the documents. I think it's always a balancing act. I mean, we have started to do more, for instance, with the challenges. The parties can now ask in advance that the court provides reasons, and the court will almost always do that if they ask.
But that then only goes to the party.
That's only for the party, exactly. To do it more generally speaking, I don't know, I think it's a tough one. I mean, if you do, I think it will always have to be completely anonymized because, as you say, it could not be a shaming game, so to speak. It would need to be very anonymized. But I don't know, what do you think?
I think that also a lot of challenges are rooted in the proceedings. That does not mean that they are frivolous necessarily, but they may be filed for tactical reasons, and it's very difficult to see them out of context and assess their value also for other challenges out of context. So I would be quite skeptical to publish decisions on challenges, but then on the other hand there may be a way to anonymize the decisions in a way that they are helpful and can build up a case, a precedent, a pool of precedents.
I think you used to be in the same team, and then you split.
We split up.
Do you get to select your own staff, and how do you grow them?
Obviously, when I started, there was already a functioning team, and often on the position of a deputy counsel, you stay with the ICC for a few years, 3 years or 4 years, and then you look around and take your next step outside or inside the organization, and then we just start a recruiting process with a description specific for the team. So I would normally look for a German speaker or someone with a Germanic background in a certain way, but then we just have a look at a variety of applications, and as you can see now, our team is quite diverse. We have someone from Greece, we have a German Australian, and we have a German with a French legal training. So it is actually quite international, but still with a regional focus, I would say.
Yeah, and I mean, she hired me, and I'm from Iceland, so
you have no Germanic background.
You know, but I agree. I mean, I've been lucky so far because I have quite experienced deputy counsel in my team, so I haven't actually had to hire a new deputy. But yeah, we would try to look at the caseload that we have and try to pick someone who has the appropriate background and language skills to deal with that.
In my team, I think it never had to be it never tipped the balance, because for a coincidence we were always diverse enough, or the applications just fit in so well. But it is something we pay attention to generally, I think, in now on different levels, recruitment, of course, appointments in the court and so on. I think that has become a very important theme of our work.
Definitely, and on all levels. The ICC court, I think, has never been as diverse as today. And if anything, actually, we would need more men at the Secretariat. We have too many women, I think.
I don't know. What's too many women?
No, I'm joking. There's never enough women.
What do you miss most about working with each other now that you're split?
When you switch teams, I always thought that we would continue our daily interactions, but somehow when you go to a different team, you don't see the other person that much anymore. But we have now implemented lunches, and we're trying to take that seriously. So.
And what do you love most about your job?
I think I love the fact that it's so international. I know it's a cliche answer, but that's really what I appreciate at the ICC, with working with people from all over, speaking all these different languages, having just these different perspectives. I think that's my favorite thing.
Yeah, I've seen you be very active also on social media. What role do you think does social media play in promoting the ICC and its goals?
I think we've made big leaps since John Denton arrived in terms of social media, LinkedIn, all of that. I think it's important just for visibility to people know that we are here. This is what we're doing.
I think it can be also a useful tool just to spread interesting information. I also now discover it as a useful tool to receive interesting information, to receive new ideas, just change a little bit the perspective from time to time.
You need to sort of find your own balance, when to post and share and like, and when to take a step back.
I also find that, for me at least, content needs to be short because we work a lot. We don't have a lot of time. This is why I also try to make my videos kind of short and sweet and get the most important information out of the interviews. So if I asked of a colleague to spend 10 minutes watching a video, then I really try to give them my best. And sometimes I feel like if you have just the auto-recorded hour-long webinars, this can be a little exhausting for people.
Yeah. I agree. I think 10-minute videos are perfect.
When you see a lot of young people that want to venture into this field, into arbitration, what would be your advice to them when they're uncertain which aspect of the profession would suit them best?
I would say just try and maybe error, maybe not. But I think it is valuable to have seen different things and to have worked as counsel, maybe as administrative secretary in a smaller unit. Maybe just also suffer a year doing due diligence with an M&A team. Why not? I did a lot of non-arbitration work, which helps me, I think, understanding cases and disputes. So I would tell people just try different things.
No, I fully agree. I think it benefits people if they try something else before. And I think it's good if you've been in a courtroom, for example, and you've done some litigation, you've done something a bit different before you come into this world. And also just to keep an open mind. When I was graduating from my LLM, everyone was trying to become a counsel at a law firm. Nobody was really thinking outside of the box, what else is there? And I think you need to be mindful of the institutions, of the administrative secretary work. There's not only counsel work.
Well, thank you to Counsel very much for meeting with me today. Thank you for all your work, for all your help and support on the cases, and for the initiative. It was very lovely to meet you.
Thank you very much for including us and coming to Paris.